roll call.
Representative Stringer, Representative Johns,
Here.
Representative Bracy,
Here.
Representative Pringle, Representative Clark,
Here.
Representative Wilcox,
Here.
Representative Drummond,
Here.
Representative Brown, Representative Shirey.
Here.
We have 4.
We have before us today, House Bill 567, sponsored by Representative Wilcox. Representative Wilcox, could you give us a little overview of what?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Under existing law, counties and municipalities may create a tax increment districts. And right now, class 3 municipalities can have over 50%. And this allows class 2 municipalities to also be afforded that same consideration.
Is it 50% or can you go over 50%?
I'd be glad to have,
So 50% is the maximum. Right now, it's only 10% for Class 2 cities, so this raises it to 50% of the commercial taxable areas. Yeah.
Right now, we're at 10% with the TIF on Downtown Parkway and downtown on Broad. So we can't do another TIF in the city of Mobile unless the cap is raised.
Question, Chair. So I really wish I had time to sit down with our representatives. I need to be re-educated on TIFs. So do we have any in Mobile currently? What are they? Can somebody answer that for me?
You would have 2. One's downtown on Broad Street, that improvement, and one on Downtown Parkway. And what a TIF is, it allows, the city council has to have public meetings and decide where this blighted area is that could use the improvement, infrastructure, lighting, sidewalks, things like that. They borrow the money to be able to do those improvements, pledge the increased taxes and real estate value to pay off those bonds. And it takes a while, of course, because you put the infrastructure and the lighting, obviously the price, the value of the property goes up. That's the whole theory. So the city gets paid back eventually from establishing that district.
So is there a targeted TIF area, third targeted area right now?
Well, I know the city council is talking about an area in Tillman's Corner, but it's up to the city council to decide to determine the district, notify the public, have public hearings to establish.
And if we already have 2 TIFs, why is this legislation necessary?
Because current law, which is existing law, and we're just doing one amendment on page 6. Current law says that you cannot, if it's your tax increment districts total together, cannot exceed 10% of the value of the real property in the municipality. Class 3 raised theirs to 50%, so it'll give us some more room to do a few more TIFs if we raise that cap. So that's the only thing we're changing is we're adding where Class 3's in, where Huntsville and Montgomery raised their amount to be determined, and we're adding in Class 2. So we're raising the cap so we can do some more TIFs. Right now we can't do anymore.
When are those TIFs created on your watch?
Yeah,
Downtown.
downtown.
Any regrets?
No. Not at all.
Mr. Chair, thank you. And Beth, can you explain, because the young man who had called me this morning did a good job of explaining the 21st century manufacturing. I think, again, for me, I would like to see us do such, but I want it to be very measured in communities that have such historic identities like Maysville, MLK, and so forth. And but this will not affect those communities. That's what he sort of told me.
No, you all may remember, we did the bill for Huntsville, one for Toyota, Mazda, their development, and Baldwin County has a mega site that's currently unused, but it's ready, and they've competed with several projects. The major 21st century manufacturing zone has to be at least 250 acres, and it has to be $100 million in investment. So that's for a huge mega site to come in, which really I don't think we have one in the city of Mobile. I mean, the only place I could think might be Brooklyn.
Probably have one, but it's not within the city of Mobile.
Right, exactly. But that was what was authorized, under that bill we did, 5, 8 years ago, specifically for Huntsville, and Baldwin County took advantage of it. So I wouldn't see one, I can't imagine one really within the current city limits, but at the same time, it's just another tool that's out there for that side.
And then the second question, Margie may be able to answer this, where in Tillman's Corner are you looking to put a TIF at?
Right now, the Southwest Mobile Chamber of Commerce is looking to do infrastructure improvements along the gateway to Tillman's Corner, which would be on Range Line and Nebius, and then also through the heart of the downtown business district of Tillman's Corner. They want some sidewalks, some lighting, and some infrastructure improvements there. And I talked with Coca-Cola, they're tickled, they want, more improvements in that area.
Any questions on this? President Brown, you have any questions?
No, I don't think it's a good piece of legislation.
So, regarding notification, this is already in existing law.
Correct.
I thought I saw where it just wasn't giving folk enough notice.
Yeah, the only change that you see, LSA makes some substantive changes, delete such, in existing laws they go through in some punctuation. But the only change is on top of page 6, where we're adding in class 2 for the same advantage that class 3 has of raising their cap. So that's the only, all the rest of it is existing law.
I just wanted to know, how do we get to 50?
So to get more districts, it takes the city council creating the map, the jurisdiction, and then approving that through the city council process. So this just gives the council the ability to identify future areas and then pass a resolution creating those TIF districts, which of course, just for those who may not be as familiar, these funds are used for kind of public good. For instance, drainage, sidewalks, lighting, those kind of public landscaping improvements. And then within the downtown, there's also a facade grant program where you can apply for funds for the exterior of your building should it be blighted. So, because that's seen as a public benefit.
Any other questions?
I make a motion to give this bill approved.
I'll second.
Okay, we move and properly second, yield to the floor. Those in favor say aye. Opposed?
Thank you so much, committee, appreciate your hard work and consideration.
That was a long meeting.
Ms. Buckingham,